Colin Windecker here, joined by Brandon Fitzsimon of HustleBelt.com here at Lawson Arena after the Broncos' 5-2 defeat at the hands of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. Brandon, it was a 2-2 game after the first two periods. What happened in the third period?
I think we saw what Minnesota Duluth was doing most of the game, and that was controlling the play. We saw it in the second period a lot on the 5-on-5. The Bulldogs were getting shots on Hafner, controlling the play, making life really tough for the Broncos. Obviously, the Broncos did start off with a 4.5-minute major power play, but two quick penalties, and that's gone. All the energy seemed to be sucked out, and then when Hafner gives up, a relatively weak goal, everything was it was dead. And the Bulldogs did what they've been doing, lately, and that's dominating opponents.
Lucas Hafner did get the start today, made 32 saves, allowed 4 goals. The fifth goal that the Bulldogs scored was an empty netter. For the most part, I thought Hafner played pretty well considering the amount of shots that he faced. Do you think we'll see him in net tomorrow night, or will it be Frank Slabowski?
It'll be Frank Slabowski. Obviously, 3 of the goals were pretty hard to stop. Nice one-timers. Defense were just kind of out of position. The one goal was, just crazy off the net. But the third goal is really the kicker. It's a weak goal to give up in a tie game at the time, a 2-2 game. Shot that he saw, but just was a little slow to react to. Slabowski's been solid at home. Hafner's been solid on the road. Well, I don't know what it is about Frank, or what it is about Lawson that brings out the best in Frank, but we tend to stay here at home.
Josh Pitt was ejected from the game, got a game misconduct early in the first period for contact to the opponent's head. How big of a loss was that for the Broncos, especially so early in the game?
I think it was a huge loss, especially from the physical side. When this game featured a lot of hitting, a lot of just a lot of up and down, hard-nosed hockey. It was a man's game. Pitt's notorious for that. He's the big hitter. He's the big center. He's the grinder. And without him, he's gone after 7 minutes. That's 53 minutes that you have to play without your enforcing center. And I think that loss was just huge, especially when we saw it in the third period. It looked like the Broncos were gassed trying to keep up. When Pitt can do, I think, the work of about 1.5 Broncos on the hits.
All right, well, tomorrow night the two teams will be back in action here at Lawson Arena. Brandon, what do the Broncos have to do tomorrow night to come away with the weekend split?
They have to be smart. Obviously, they have to stay out of the penalty box. Tonight, they had 29 penalty minutes. That's just way too much. Obviously, you get 10 from the Pitt penalty as well as the 5-minute major, but you can't give a Minnesota Duluth team that many power play chances, or kill your own power play chances with penalties like we saw with Balsi and a tripping call early in the third that killed that major penalty. Play smart, continue to play tough, fight through the Bulldog defense. If they can do that, just get shots on Aaron Crandall. He was a little bit shaky tonight. He didn't have a couple big saves, but in the end, he did only face 19 shots, so that's not a lot, especially from the Broncos.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up here from Lawson Arena. Again, the Broncos falling to Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs 5-2. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, here, Lawson Arena, 7 p.m. Broncos will look for the weekend split. Again, Colin Windecker, Brandon Fitzsimon, HustleBelt.com. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.